In this video, I'm going to try to explain the process and purpose of bookkeeping by starting from the end goal and working my way backwards. This is an overview video. I'm not going to get into a lot of details. I just want to give you the process and the primary pieces. I have other videos that'll drill down further into the details of how this all works. So if you are an LLC, a sole proprietor, a partnership, you need to file your taxes on a Schedule C. It's a profit or loss from a business statement, Schedule C. If you're an S Corp, this would be an 1120S. And if you are in real estate, this would be a Schedule E. I'm going to use a Schedule C for this example. The Schedule C has three primary sections to it. The first is income. The income is gross receipts or sales, less returns and allowances. Part 2 is about expenses, things like advertising, car and truck expenses, meals and entertainment is going to be in here, travel and that kind of thing. The third section is related to cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold are calculated by inventory at the beginning of the year, plus the purchases for inventory you made at the year, less the inventory at the end of the year. Okay? So where does the information for this come from? The bulk of this information comes from, in a double entry accounting solution, would come from something called an income statement. This report, an income statement, is the exact same as a profit or loss from a business statement. Those two report titles are synonymous. On an income statement, you will see income and expenses grouped by categories. Now you have the option of naming these categories anything you want, or they're called accounts in bookkeeping, but we're going to call it, they're tax categories over here for your tax form. If we name these categories the exact same as those that we need on our tax form, you can see that this statement is almost a mirror of this statement. And when I'm done with the income statement here, all I or my CPA needs to do is manually copy this information from here to here in about 90 seconds or less. And in theory, I've got the bulk of my bookkeeping done. Now, that's oversimplifying it. There's a couple more things that need to be done, but you get the gist. So the income statement has all these categories, and ultimately you're looking for summary information would be summed up over here, such as the income minus the expenses minus the cost of goods sold equals net income. Now, income statements are prepared for a time period. They can be prepared for a day, a week, a month, or a year. For your tax purposes, you are going to prepare them for the year. Now, where does the information come from for this? It comes from your, what we call ledgers. I'm going to call them ledgers. We have checking ledgers and credit card ledgers. Okay, these two are nearly identical. Ledgers contain the information by all your individual transactions by date, payee, amount, and then there is the category. So you assign the category there. That category feeds into the income statement, such as, there's your 17 legal and professional services. If we came over here on the income statement, we'd see that down at 17. All transactions categorized that way for this year totaled $9,780. Okay. So the final question is where do I get the transactions from this? There's really three primary sources that you can get those from. One is a shoebox. One is the paper statement, but the best source to get them from is your online banking console. We've got a faux bank that we can use for training and simulation. And I'd log in here, I'd go to my checking account, and the transactions actually, all banks offer the opportunity to download your transactions, typically in what's called a CSV file, a comma separated values file. They also may offer it to you in an Excel format. When you download those, you download them and click a button, and when you open them, you would see something like this. You could take and highlight the transactions, you would hit Control C, and you would paste them over into your ledger here. We actually have an intermediate step, so I'm skipping one, but you would paste them in here, you categorize them, and you're done. All of this simply flows back into here. It should take you approximately 4 to 8 minutes per month to do each individual account you have. And there are some additional steps that I'm going to detail in some longer videos that help you cross-check your data to make sure you haven't made any errors or mistakes. That's the bookkeeping process from A to Z, starting in reverse and explaining where everything comes from. Check out the other videos that have a little more detail related to drilling down the actual steps that you're going to use with the Zap accounting software to get all the way through this process.